डॉक्टर बाबासाहेब आंबेडकर ओपन युनिव्हर्सिटी.
Namaskar dear students and learner of this course. I am Professor Kamesh Rawal. I welcomes you in the video lecture series of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University. We were discussing a subject called Fundamentals of Computer and Information Technology. We have already completed a block number 1 and block number 2. In the block number 1, basically we have focused on a basic computer organization, how the computer will be organized, and one more thing which we have discussed in the block number 1 is how can we convert our data that can be number, that can be text into the form of binary. We have also discussed the machine can understand only a language of ones and zero. It is called a binary language. And then we have discussed how the addition, subtraction, etc., that type of operation can be performed by the computer in the binary language. In the block number 2, basically we have discussed a different type of memories and IO devices, right? So in the block number 2, in the first chapter we have discussed all the primary memories. In the block number unit number 2, we have discussed a secondary memory, and then in the third and fourth unit of the block number 2, we have discussed input as well as different type of output devices. Now in this particular block, block number 3, we will focus on information technology. So basically here we will discuss what actually the network is, what is internet, and finally what are the security and threats are there if we are using networking as well as internet. Fine. So let us start our discussion on a block number 3. In today's session, in a unit number 9, which is a block unit number 1 actually of a block number 3, right, we will try to focus on computer networks. So initially what we will do is we will just discuss what actually the network is, right. If once we will do the definition, once we gone through the definition of the computer network, then we will discuss what are the advantages are there of the computer network, what are the limitations are there, and depending upon a geographical location of the computer network, how can we classify the network, right? What are the different types of networks are there? Fine. So these are the topic which we are going to discuss today. Fine. Now the first thing, that is, when the computer is actually invented, at that time, they are a standalone machine, right? At the time of invention of the computer, nobody has thought that we will connect 2 or more computers and it will make a network, and later on the network will be expanded to the entire world, and internet will be formed, right? So when the computers are invented, at that time the machines are standalone, right? Different computers were used for gathering information, data processing, and obtain information. Now due to the change in the technology and rapid growth in the area of information, right, information gathering and distribution, connection between 2 computers nowadays become essential, right? So that is our today's need, right? So basically whenever we are buying a computer or any computing devices, we are trying to connect those devices with the other devices, and obviously in that way we are actually creating or forming a network. So one question will come into your mind, what is network, right? So basically network is what, let's suppose if you have any 2 devices and if you are connecting both the devices, 2 or more devices, right, with each other. And why we need to connect these devices? Obviously our purpose is to share the information or to share the resources. So let if you have 2 or more computer at one premises, and if you want to share the data, if you want to exchange the data in that computers or computing devices, or if you want to share the resources, like you want to share printer, you want to share internet connection, right, you want to share a CD-ROM. So in that case, we are connecting two or more machines, and when we are connecting two or more machines, it will create actually a network, right. So the network means two or more devices connected to each other using some media. So here obviously we will use a media. Media can be anything. Media can be a cable, right? It can be wire. Okay. Media can be, you know, air. Here we are doing a transmission through the air, and you know, we are sending some radio signal which will be received by some other machine, and it is called a wireless networking, right. So here some media will be there. Media can be air, media can be cable or any other thing. So by using some media, if we are connecting two or more machine, our purpose is for doing this is to share the information, right. Let's suppose if you have some information which is available in a one machine, and if you want to access the same information into the another computer, obviously what you need is you need a computer network. Along with that, let's suppose if you have some physical hardware like printer or CD-ROM, and if you want to share among all the machines, right, which is there in a one premises, then obviously we need a network. So the main purpose of the network is to share the information and to share the resources. So see here I have shown a picture, right, the bigger picture, in that you know the different users are there, they are sitting on a different computers and they are exchanging information, they are exchanging data with each other. In the second image, right, which is at the top side, top right side, here what we have is there are different users are there, and there is one printer, one hardware resource is actually connected with one of the computer, and because of our printer is in a shared mode, any user can take the printout of on this particular printer, right. So here two things are there. If you want to share the data with other users, or if you want to share the resources, then what we need is a network. Okay, now we will define a computer networks. So see, network can be you know, connection of two or more devices. That devices can be anything. Let's suppose if we'll talk about your televisions, right. So you know, in the Ahmedabad city what we have is we have a multiple television sets, and you know there is one city cable is there who is actually connecting all the televisions, right. So that can be a network, right. If you talk about a BSNL landline telephones, so obviously here the different telephone devices are connected with each other, right, and they will create what, network. So in the case of network, what we are doing is we can connect any two devices which are actually communicating with each other. But let's suppose if those devices are not televisions, not you know, BSNL landline phones are there, they are computing devices, for example your mobile, your laptop, your computer, etc., etc. So if any two computing devices, if you are two or more, right, if you are connecting with each other, then it will be a computer network. So here the difference is what between the network and computer network. In the network you are connecting any two devices, right, you know, it can be anything, right. It's not necessary that your devices has to be a computing devices, but in the case of computer network, any two or more computing devices are connected with each other. Now that computing devices can be anything, that can be your mobile, that can be your, you know, a laptop, that can be your tablet, that can be your personal computer, etc., etc., right, that can be your router. So this type of computing devices, if you are connecting with each other, then it will create a computer networks. Now here we have talked about two or more computers we are connecting with each other, right. So obviously if you want to connect two or more devices, then certain hardware resources you need, right. You need a cable, you need a wire, right. Obviously you need to crimp that wire, so you need to attach some connectors at both the end of the cable. Then in every computer what you need is you need a LAN card or interface card, right. uh, you need any other devices like hub or switch you need to use. Okay, so here we are spending a lot of cost, right, to buy this type of networking equipment, right, because cost is involved in okay, buying a cable, buying a hub or switch, buying a connector. Then why we are spending this much cost? So obviously because our computer networks are beneficial, right? There are so many advantages are served by the computer network. So what are those advantages? So here the first advantage is, with the help of computer network we can share the data, right? So let if you have a one machine, and in that machine, suppose if you have created some files, and if you want that files in another computer, you want to access all this file whatever you have made in a machine number 1 into the machine number 2. So if machine 1 and machine 2, both the machines are connected in the network, then this thing is possible, right? So here, whenever you want to share the data, let's suppose if you have created some of the files and you want to share this information with the other users, right, so that the other user can access the same data whatever is produced by you on their terminal, then you need a computer network, right? Obviously the machines has to be connected. Okay, second thing, resource sharing. Resource means here, by mean of resource we are referring a physical hardware device. Let's suppose if we are doing a setup of a lab, and in that lab suppose 50 computers are there, and we want to allow users so that after making their programs or data, student can take a printout of it. Okay, so shall I need to buy 50 computers, 50 printers? Obviously not, right? Yes, there are 50 computers are there, for 50 terminals are there, but to allow students so that they can take a printout, I don't need to buy a 50 printer machines, right? I will buy a good quality of printer machine and I will attach with one of the terminal, and what we will do is we will share that printer among all the users. So the student can make the program and they can take the printout from any terminal, right? So here we don't need to buy 50 printers, but we need to buy only one printer, and that you can share among all the users. So here printer is what? It's a hardware device, that's we know, it's output device, right? So here that type of hardware devices you can share with all the user, right? And it actually save a lot of cost. Buying 50 printers, right, that actually for that purpose we need to spend a huge amount of cost. But here if we are buying only one good printer, and if we are sharing with all the users, in that case we can save a lot of cost. Fine. Let if you want to share internet connection, right? For example, let you have 50 computers are there, 50 terminals are there in your computer lab, and you want to allow so that the student can have access of internet. Okay, so you need to buy 50 broadband connections or 50 BSNL landline connections? No, right? You just need to buy a good quality, good bandwidth connection of internet, and that's the one internet connection you can share among all the users, right? So here if you want to share the internet connection, obviously what you need is you need a computer network, right? Your computer has to be connected with each other in the network. It will increase the storage, right? How it is? Let's suppose if I am having a one machine, and one machine will have a 2 GB of data, right? Hard disk of 2 GB. I am having the another computer in the same premises which is having a 1 terabyte. Another computer again will have a 1 terabyte. So obviously if the machines are connected with each other, I can store my data into my computer. Not only that, if my hard disk gets full, I can also store my data into the other hard disk, right, which is installed in the other computers. So by that way, I can put my data in any hard disk which is installed in any machine of the network, right? So by that way we can say it will increase the storage capacity. Okay, storage reliability. We know that whatever data we are creating, whatever data we are producing in the computer, it will be stored on the secondary memory. And what is the secondary memory where we are storing the actual data? Obviously it's a hard disk. Now you just think, let's suppose if you have created some of the file, it's an important data, and you have placed on a one hard disk, and one day you will come to know that that hard disk is not functioning, right? Okay, we will buy a new hard disk, but the thing is, what's about the data? Obviously the data, whatever you have stored on that particular hard disk, obviously it will be lost, right? And if you don't want to do such kind of loss, what you can do is you take a regular backup. So let if you have a machine and on that one hard disk is there, whatever data you are creating, you take a backup on the another computer's hard disk, right? So if two machines are connected with each other, you can take a regular backup into the another machine. So suppose if the hard disk is not functioning, one of the hard disks is not functioning, you can recover your data back from the another computer's hard disk. Okay, and by that mean we can say if we have a computer network, then it will increase the storage reliability. And suppose if you want to communicate with the other users, right, for doing online chat or for telecommunication, for that purpose, again what you need is you need a computer network. So there are many benefits are there. Okay, now there are certain limitations are there. So we'll see one by one what are the limitations are there of a computer network. The first thing is the high cost. So as we have discussed, if you want to connect two or more computers, what you need is you need a wire or cable, you need a connector, you need an interface card, network interface card, right? You need a hub or switch, and obviously to buy all this type of networking equipment, you have to spend a lot of cost, right? Second thing is a privacy issue, right? Let's suppose if your computer is connected with the network or internet, whatever files you are creating, there will be one fear will be there in your mind that is anybody will access a particular file, right, without my permission then. So obviously, you need to protect your computer if your computer is connected with the network or internet, right? So here some privacy issues are there. Okay. Third thing, to manage this network, you need a trained persons, right? You need to hire some trained employee. Otherwise, what happen? Let's suppose if you have done the network is working fine, but suppose if any problem occurs in the network and if there is no trained person is there, obviously you cannot troubleshoot that problem and you cannot solve that problem, right? So obviously, to manage the network, you need a skilled employees. Okay, the last drawback limitation of the computer network is, once you are connecting your machine with the network or internet, then there are chances are there your machine can be infected by viruses and other malware softwares, right? What are the viruses are there, and what are the other malware softwares are there? So in the unit number 3 of this particular block, we will discuss in a greater detail, right? Okay, now based on the geographical location, right, the computer networks can be classified, can be divided into 3 categories, right? The first category says it's a LAN. LAN means it's a local area network. So see here what happened, there are several computers are there, for example 50 or 100 computers are there, which is resided in a one premises or in a one building, and you are just doing a network of it, right? So that type of network is known as a local area network. The second network is called metropolitan area network. So this is a slightly bigger than the local area network, right? Local area network is situated at a one premises or one place. Metropolitan area network actually covers the whole city or nearby city, okay, nearby to city. So let's suppose if we'll talk about network of all the stations of metro train, okay, BRTS, right? So that will be a metropolitan area network. If you talk about city cable, so it covers the entire city, So it's a metropolitan area network. The third network is called a wide area network, which covers the entire globe, entire world, right? So internet is the application of wide area network, right? You can get the internet in the Japan, in the India, and in the USA. Everywhere the internet will be there. So this type of network which cover entire world is called a wide area network. Then one more network is there, which is called PAN. It's called a personal area network. So here see what happened. Let if you are connecting two nearby devices. Let's suppose if you are copying a file from your mobile to your friend's mobile, right? I have wear a wrist band, right? And this smart band is actually always connected with my mobile device, right? So how many steps I am taking, right? What is my heartbeat, that everything I can monitor through my mobile device. So here, you know, this type of two devices are communicating with each other using some Bluetooth kind of technology, then it is called a personal area network. So obviously personal area network is the smallest network, then the bigger network is a LAN, then bigger is MAN, and wide area network is a huge network, right? Okay. So as we have discussed, what is LAN? A LAN, it is also known as a local area network. A local area network is a privately owned network, right, which is a relatively small network. So see, basically, you know, the owner of the LAN will be some person, right? For example, you know, there is one company is there, and company has taken some 10 or 15 machines, and if you are connecting all the computers together, obviously it will create a LAN. And who will be the owner of that particular LAN? Obviously the owner of the company, right? Similarly, you know, ownership can be of a university, of a college, anything can be possible. But here the local area network is usually privately owned network, right? The span of the local area network is maximum 10 kilometer, not more than 10 kilometer. It is used to provide a local connectivity within the premises or building in a small geographical area, right? So obviously the LAN is spreaded in a very small area, right? Local area network connects two or more computing devices using Ethernet technology or Wi-Fi technology. So here basically two technologies we are using to create a LAN. If you want to use a wired, you know, wired connection between machines, then you are using a Ethernet technology. But let if you have some Wi-Fi router which is attached, and there are several devices are there, like 3 or 4 laptops are there, and all the laptops, if you are connecting with that particular router, that is called a Wi-Fi router. So that is called a wireless LAN. It is called a Wi-Fi technology, right? The another type of network is called a metropolitan area network. It is you know, abbreviated as a MAN. So a MAN is defined for the geographic area which is lesser than 50 kilometers, right? So obviously LAN up to 10 kilometer we have the LAN. If more than 10 kilometers is there, up to 50 kilometer, then you have a metropolitan area network, right? It provides a regional connectivity typically within the city or between two cities. Cable TV is the best example, right, of a metropolitan area network. MAN covers more geographical area than the local area network. Companies can also create the MAN to connect the various branch offices, right? The third category of the network is a wide area network, right? So wide area network does not have any kind of restriction because it covers the entire world, right? A WAN provides a transmission of data, voice, images, video, information at a very long distance. So let's suppose a person who is in the Japan, he or she can send any kind of message, you know, text or image or video to the person who is in the USA. So that is possible because here the WAN covers the entire world. Internet is an example of a wide area network, right? So if anybody is asking you, can you give any example of WAN? So obviously internet is the application which is running on the wide area network. WANs may utilize public. So usually we have discussed that the LANs are privately owned, right? While a WAN, internet, is called a publicly owned. So there is no you know, private company is there who is the owner of internet. Internet is a public network. Anyone who wants to join with the internet they can give some amount to the ISP, internet service provider, and they can use the internet facility. So here, you know, you are not paying for the internet, you are paying for the services which is provided by the ISP, right? And that's why here we are talking about the WANs are a public network, it's not privately owned network, right? Okay. Then the last category of the network is a PAN, right? It's called a personal area network. So nowadays this term becomes more popular, right? It's a personal area network. PAN stands for a personal area network. Usually in the case of, you know, local area network, Wi-Fi LAN, we are using a Wi-Fi router, right, which actually generates what? A radio signals, right? But that frequency of the radio signals are lesser, and if the frequency are lesser, then the wavelength will become some more. So obviously you can access that particular signal, radio signal, at some distance, right? Like up to few meters you can easily access those Wi-Fi signals. But more powerful, higher frequencies, radio wave signals are there, which is known as a Bluetooth signals, and basically the range of the Bluetooth signals are too smaller compared to the Wi-Fi, right? Wi-Fi signal can propagate up to longer distance compared to Bluetooth. So this Bluetooth technology we are using here, right, to transmit the data from, you know, one mobile device to another mobile device. Let if you are using a wireless earbuds, then again wireless earbuds are actually, you know, connecting with your particular mobile device with the help of Bluetooth signals. As I have shown, I have here a band, and this band is actually connected with my mobile by using a Bluetooth signals, right? So here two devices, nearby devices, are using or exchanging the data with each other by using a Bluetooth technology, right? And that is called a personal area network. Fine. So up to here in this particular session, what we have done is we have discussed, we have defined first what is computer network, then we have discussed the advantages and limitation of the computer network. Then we have classified the network into several categories, right? The smallest network which we have defined is a personal area network, right? Then a local area network is there. Then metropolitan area network, where you are connecting all the devices of the entire city. And internet. Internet is what? It is the application of a wide area network. So I think this much discussion is enough for our today's session. We'll meet in the next session and we will see few more things about the computer network. Till then, take care and bye-bye.